Alright, so let's do some VOD breakdown. We got hard point on Vault. So it looks like you've got some diamond teammates. This is just going to be my live reaction also. I didn't watch this beforehand. I like this opening strategy, trying to get anybody off cat. Yeah, it's alright. That's a good read right there. When you went to go flank cat by going hookah right here, you stun it to make sure if anyone pushes right off the rift, look there, and then you immediately know, I don't know if you heard this person or not, but you immediately know to look to your right anyway. You got unlucky, and that happens, you know, timing happens, but that's a very good play. Your head was in the right spot anyway, so that's, you know, that's good. If you lose a gunfight, you lose a gunfight. Happens to everybody. That's not the worst thing in the world. Your head was in the right spot. So right now, you spawn P4, or I'm sorry, you spawn Art, so the enemy team is most likely all over the hill, or kind of around P2, or cat area, because I'm going to go ahead and pull up my map here. Right here, this is Vault, right, and this is Hardpoint. You spawned, let's say that you're this guy right here. You spawn right here in Art, so you know the game is probably spawning you as far as possible from the enemy team, and I can see these 3 dots right here. It looks like they're in the direction of P2, so most likely you know someone's in Art, or I'm sorry, in Cat, or right around here. They're probably just spawning in and then maybe flooding through into the time. So I like this route here. It looks like you're going to go mid doors. Okay, you go bottom Art. Or I'm sorry, not bottom Art. Vault. So they're probably still there. Yep. They touch time. Okay, that guy's on Mars. I don't know what he was doing. And then I like getting the back and blocking here for the next spawn, for the next hill. Really good play here, and now you're already on time. Cool, your teammate grabs time, you throw a trophy. Yeah, I like this spot. Now your team, when you were kind of over here, getting the back area, no one was really, you didn't really see anybody except for this one guy. No one was really here. So most likely what they're doing is they're playing time. So you probably know that they're all mid. They're all mid, and they're probably going to be up here in cat, and they're going to come front exactly where you're looking. I would probably just stay down, just try not to challenge out of time. I know that you only have one teammate here, but it's no use if you just like chow out of hill and then you end up dying. But this is a really good spot. There you go, and now you got a teammate behind you. There's Cat. Yep, and there they are. So that's 2 dead. That's 3. And then the last one is Cat. Oh, that's 4. So now you have all 4 dead in the span of looking at the kill feed, right? If we go back just a tiny bit. There's 1, Hunty. There's 2, Money Anthony. And then there's Rosso. And then I guess Baby Tries probably already died. So you know all of them are spawning directly here where Baby Tries probably just killed your teammate. So you're on P2, and they all spawned over here. So immediately, if you don't have a mic, that's fine, but I'm telling my teammates, hey, they're all spawning over on P2, and right now, or I'm sorry, P4, and right now you have 3 of your teammates on time, and that's not your fault, that's their fault. But like I said, if I have a mic, I'm calming, hey, they're all going to be pushing from outer palms. I need you guys to look that way because your job as time is to stay down. Like I said, don't challenge out of time. You're not helping anybody if you get lasered out, and then now it's a 3v4 and someone else has to hop in time, and then they're just going to get lasered out. So, like I said, not your fault, but your teammates should be 1 here who died, 1 here on Cat, and then, oh, I'm sorry, that's 1 teammate. This triangle looks like another teammate. But your teammate who's on top of you is not really doing you any favors. He should have slid to replace where your other teammate died. And there he is. So that's alright, you guys get broken. Now you guys flipped. So now you're spawning outer palms and they probably have close spawns. And now it's kind of a bang out for mid. So right now, it's 13 seconds. Vault is a big map, and this is a huge rotation for getting P2, or I'm sorry, P3. I can't speak today. Getting P3, going to Art, right? And then making sure that you also win the next rotation for P4. So right off the rip, I would probably not challenge this time. You guys are up by over 20 points anyway, which at the beginning of the game is pretty decent. So I would immediately just go top Art, or at least, you know, go back and start setting up for new. Yeah. So you get cleaned up here. That's all right. He had a sub. What you could also do here is, like I said, when you flipped, right, you spawned here. You guys flipped and you spawned where they spawned in Outer Palms. So now, immediately, you know that they're spawning in the back. So since P3 is coming up, I would probably look to play a cutoff angle. So right here, you don't need to challenge time. I mean, maybe if you were looking for someone, that's fine. But right here, a lot of people like to stand in this corner, right, and then literally look towards outside, you know, towards lobby. And then sure enough, there's this guy that comes that you probably would have killed. But unfortunately, you get bad timing, and he slides right into you when you're sliding. Maybe that's what you were doing. Bad timing happens. But I would either look there, or I would just look to kind of be a nuisance. Tell your teammates to go grab Art. And while they're grabbing Art, you're probably getting this guy. And then I bet you, since P3 is coming up, there's someone on the other team who's probably back here. He's probably going up top ammo, right, on that little balcony to try and set up, to try and shoot anybody on your team who's getting time. So I would maybe try and go flank him. So you didn't make a bad play, but probably just try and be a little faster with it, I would say. Now you spawn good side, pull out a sub, your teammate's going top Art, and then you have one guy who's playing mid. Oh, I like that play. And then now you're on time. Yep, there you go. So that red dot, that person that's shooting, is the guy who is on ammo. Like I said, he would have been a good person to flank. If you didn't die, that's fine. But that's, you know, that's exactly what everyone most likely does. As soon as P3 comes up, you know that someone's going top Art, which is where your teammate is, and then there's someone ammo, which is where this guy's shooting from. So immediately, I would look to gain both of those positions. You already have top Art, so if you're not on time, I'm immediately going to ammo. And your teammates are kind of, I don't know what they're doing. Yep. So, okay. So you turn around because you see this guy here in mid, but then the hill's contested. So right now you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place and you get pinched. It happens. It is what it is. Yeah, there he is. That was bad timing. It's one of those things where if you shot at that guy, you probably would have gotten shot in the back from the person who came through mid anyway. All good. Making some class adjustments. So you already have a teammate top Art. The enemy team is still spawning ammo side, and now you have people on your team who are contesting. There's someone right here, and then it looks like your teammate is all the way on their side. I don't think he's mid doors. I think he's all the way on their side. So I would probably try and pick up what's missing, which would be mid doors, because you have you have one anchoring and looking over. You have one here who's in the front. You have one guy who looks like, you know, it looks like his dot's kind of far away. I could be wrong, but he's probably all the way back there, kind of up in the enemy's face. So I'm doing whatever my team is not doing, which is I'm probably, since they're on time, I'm going mid doors here, and I'm trying to, and you got a sub, so I'm trying to fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just slide through mid doors. There's probably going to be that same guy that's hiding behind the pillar. Right? But this is not a bad route either. Okay, that's 2 dead. That's 3. And then there's 4. There's the last one up there, up in Art, who gets your teammate from behind. This guy is a big kill right here because he is going to determine whether or not you guys get spawns for the next hill, which is coming up in 17 seconds. And notice how I'm counting enemies here in the kill feed. I don't know if you do that yet. I know I was doing it a little bit in Diamond, and you're a Diamond, so you clearly know how to play the game. Just start to, you know, count kills. When I notice that there's 3 dead, you know, for example, if there's 3 dead and then this guy's right here, that's why this is so important, is because most likely if your teammates are probably going to spawn back here on ammo, you guys just flipped, right? And this guy just ruined your entire rotation because his teammates are going to spawn right here on him, or they're probably going to spawn in, like, way in the back of P4. So, yeah, there you go. See, your teammate just spawned ammo, which is behind you, and you guys probably just flipped. So now you have to work. I would work through art and try and regain that flip. Right? Good job looking for the enemies. Like, you read the flip. I like that. Yep, clearing this out. And then right here, your teammates, like I said, if you have a mic, you guys should have been rotated, I would say. Uh, you know, playing time with like 5 seconds left is not helping anybody. 30-point game is close. You have a decent lead, but that's still enough for them to make a comeback, especially on P4, which is considered a money hill because it's insanely hard to break. Although I like this play of pulling out an AR and then watching. Get some good timing on this guy. And now just watch over your team. Okay, so right there, try not to jump out. I liked where you were situated. You already got one guy who was flanking you. You know that most likely one guy is only going to flank you, and since you killed him, you're probably safe for a good while. So just stay right here. You see somebody bottom, you're probably not going to kill him, but then you also see somebody top. Try not to jump out here. Maybe you already jumped out, and then he kind of popped out of nowhere. That's fine. That's what it looks like it happened. I could be wrong. And then, yeah, so now you guys get unfortunate spawns here. Yeah, so right here, you want to make sure that you're pulling out an AR, especially if you're spawning pool, because this guy right here in the back of scaffolding, which you were already looking at, is going to be a problem, and then you still have this guy top who killed you when you were art. So you guys all need to hit together. Your teammate doesn't see the shadow right here of the guy that falls. Yep, there he is. Oh, that was a dead body. Okay, never mind. Good job pulling out an AR. Okay, so most of the things that I'm saying or that I would recommend you're already doing. So you have good game sense, and that's the most important thing. So right here, this guy's not dead. So you kind of slid and you didn't slide into, you know, like an iron. You didn't slide into having your gun already up. Like right here. Yeah, I knew that he didn't run away. He's probably still there, so I would have slid. I probably wouldn't have slid at all, but if I do, I'm already looking on this side, because he's probably just trying to play his life, probably trying to finesse. So just have your gun up ready for the fight. All good. And then see, now they're already up, because P4 is notoriously hard to break. So right here, I mean, you're probably better off setting up for new, but if you do want to play, tell your teammates, set up for new, and then play P4. They have to either come towards mid, right in front of you, or they're probably going to try and go to your left, and then, you know, jump up that little hop-up area, and then go cat to try and go P1. So if I'm you, I would want you to play right here, go right here, kind of like to your right, because you know that they're probably going to come either right past Lion, or like I said, that jump up area, and then go up the steps towards cat, which if you can't kill them, you can either shoot them and get them weak, or tell your teammates, hey, you got guys cat, look cat. Really good shots. And then now it looks like they flipped. That guy's probably didn't flank. So they're still on time. Ooh, okay, so they're probably still spawning P4. Your teammates have the ammo spawn back here blocked. And then this guy is, he's right there. So they're still probably spawning in the back. So I would just hold this. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And then, you know, if you lose a fight to a sub, it is what it is. Okay, so you guys have 2 dead, and they're spawning ammo side. Right off the bat, I haven't seen you go cat once, especially for P1. Cat is huge, and you have an AR. So you're in a prime position to get anybody who's maybe trying to go around pool and trying to get to cat that way, like someone did at the beginning of the game. Or if they're trying to get cat at all, you can kind of cut them off. So I would maybe like to see you go cat, especially with an AR. You can help beam your teammate. You can help beam guys for your teammates, or at the very least call them out. Good cleanup on that guy. Now that's 3 dead, and there's the last one. Yep, good nade. That's 4. So now they're probably either spawning. Oh, this is tough because your teammate might be blocking the P4 spawn, and then this guy is for sure blocking the ammo spawn. So you might get splits for. They might spawn Art and P2, or they might all just spawn Art, assuming how far this guy is, because it doesn't look like he's too far. Yeah, he's not too far, so they're all spawning Art. So, oh, they're not. Maybe they got splits. Yeah, that guy probably came from P4, maybe like scaffolding. Yep, it looks like he did. And now... Yep, so now they're trying to fight for P2.
Wow, 1 arm point.
So you guys have 2 dead. Play slow here. I want to see you try and play a little bit slower. Like I said, watching that kill feed, you get a great kill on that guy, but then, yeah, you get killed. Now, if you were to, if you wait for your teammates here, especially with this guy making a pinch in the back, and then right before you died, I noticed that you have 2 teammates right here, one of which is pretty close to you. You guys have numbers on this guy, so if you played slower, I know that you got that kill on the one guy in time, but if you play slower here, especially since you're a bullet pretty much, I guarantee you, like, the enemies probably called you out as weak or one shot if they're communicating. They're like, oh, he's a bullet. So I would have probably stayed behind that pillar, regen, maybe gone back into pool and laid down, you know, whatever, regen, and then this guy and you can push into time together, and then since you die here, he probably would have been able to get this trade. All good, though. I don't know if you're playing with a stack or not, or if these are solos. Yeah, so that guy made a really good play. He's watching cat, because he knows that you guys are spawning like kind of like that back P4 area where the scaffolding is, and then your teammates spawned you know, kind of they spawned right on you. They spawned in Art. So that's one thing that you can take away from your even like watching how the enemies play is, you know, realizing, oh wow, that was a good play, right? So that's another thing that will definitely help your game, is watching what the enemies do if you guys lose. Watching what plays that they're making can be just as important. So now you guys have all 4 dead, and he makes a great play. Okay, good job looking outer palms. Okay, for right here, I probably would have just thrown the nade. I don't know how you did that. I didn't know you could cancel grenades like that. But I probably, right here, I would have thrown the grenade and then looked front, which in that case, I probably would have seen the guy cat. So that's one thing that I'm noticing just from a brief inventory is that sometimes you hesitate. Don't be afraid to play slower to make sure that you're making the right decision. You know what I mean? So right there, just throw the grenade. You know, you don't have to second guess yourself. I know it looks like you were about to throw the grenade, and then your teammate hopped on time, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna blow this guy to kingdom come, so I'm not gonna throw it. But I would probably cancel that grenade, throw it, and then look somewhere else, because your job, if your teammate is on time, your job is to protect him at all costs. So, like, that's why I said throw the grenade in the back to make sure no one's in the back, and then immediately look in this direction, like towards front, towards lobby, towards this push right here in front of army truck, and then you probably would have seen the guy cat, and then you can either lay prone or you can snake these palms. I know I'm being hindsight Harry right now, but you know, these are just little things that you can think about that you can implement into your future games. Just don't be afraid to play slower and make sure that you're making the right play. There's this guy. Again, see? That's a good play. So he knows that you guys are probably spawning here because of P2, and that you need to go this way for P3. So he plays this cutoff angle. See, that's what I was trying to get you to do before. That's another good play, is making sure that you're playing cutoff angles where you know that they're going to have to push, or you know that the enemies are going to have to rush in that direction. So you guys flip. Okay, so that's interesting how you like to pull out a sub for this hill. Usually most people like to pull out ARs because, like I said, a lot of people are going to look to go ammo and art. But I like this play. Maybe you know, you like to thrive around mid. Yeah, and that's the AR. So you got one guy art. So right off the bat, like I said, I don't know if you're hesitating here, but if you have a sub, okay, well, that's just shitty timing. But if I'm here in this situation, if I see this guy, like, quick enough, I'm not going to run out that door. Or if I do see him, like right now, boom, I would slide towards the car because most likely he has an AR if he's challenging that angle. If he's confident enough to, you know, pre-aim wherever he's pre-aiming right towards you guys, he's probably got an AR. You know, this guy isn't looking from that far away with a sub. You know, he definitely doesn't have a pistol in his hand. So hide behind the truck. I would not challenge this fight. Yep, and he had an AR, sure enough. It was the same guy that killed you, actually. So we got to take care of that guy. Yeah, and then now we're kind of getting spawn trapped. So they're playing either side of mid, and they're kind of catching you guys whichever way you spawn. And this is kind of a clusterfuck. I don't put this on your fault because, like, what? You spawned on the other side, and then this side, and then died. The other side died, and then now you spawn on this side. So I don't blame you for that. And then you get taken out by a random grenade. So, ooh, good. Setting up for next. Now, remember, play a cutoff. You know that they were mainly around mid if the guys that killed you didn't die. And, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I had this map. They're mainly around mid, right? And then there's probably some guy time. There's this guy who killed you when you spawned right here. And then there's maybe another one's dead, and he's probably spawning ammo, whatever. So right here, you go to P4, right? Your teammates are all around right here. You go P4 to set up for new, but you know that they're going to have to come this way. So immediately, if you're going to set up for P4, look this way, right? Where you're looking towards mid, because you know that they're going to have to come that way. And you're looking hookah. They're not going to be hookah, unless they take a route. Yep, so they're P3. That's 2 dead, and then they spawn. They probably spawned ammo, so you guys have a lot of time, but yeah. Okay, so P4 popped up. Those 2 that died spawned pool. Just try and be ready for that. Now you should be looking pool. There you go. Beautiful play. Good play. There you go. Now you have the info. You can say that they're probably all spawning together, so you can say, I need help on the side. Right? You got that guy that pushed up, and see, that's what I just said. They all spawn kind of like pool palms in that area. So tell your teammates they're all spawning on the side. So there's 3. And then now they're probably spawning either back towards palms, because they were all here, and you're pushed up a little bit now. So they're probably spawning either back here, or they're spawning mid. Teaching you spawns a little bit too. I don't know how good your spawn knowledge is, but it can never hurt. So right now, yeah, they probably spawned way back in P2, because you were pushed up enough to make sure that they weren't directly right here, and now here they come. Yep. Good job keeping that guy at bay. You got 1 hookah, and then one guy over here is going deep. Your teammate needs to pick that up. Okay, so this guy's on time. This guy's top. That's a good play. This guy looks like he's over on statue. You guys have a good setup here. Top gets lasered. Now you got 2 guys front, and then 1 guy kills you from art. Not much you can do there, like I said. That's why I was pointing out where your teammates are positioned. There's not much you can do. If you're playing that car, and you're keeping these guys in pool, and also if anyone jumps out hookah or mid, you kind of have these guys covered, or at the very least you can slow them down. If you get shot in the side, that's kind of on your teammates. You need your teammates to be watching. If that guy's on top, I know he died, but he needs to be watching mid, and then the guy on statue needs to watch anybody that's kind of going wide to try and go art. So that's not on you. Don't worry about that. It is what it is. P1 pops up. You guys got a good money hill on that P4. Which is good because last P4 they won. Alright, unlucky timing there. Now you guys are all 4 dead. So you're all spawning P4. Make sure that you're... One thing that I like to do, when you spawn up like this with all of your teammates in the same area, make sure that you're all going in different ways. It's good to play together and stick together to make sure that if somebody dies, you can bait them, you can get their trade. But if they're on P1 right now and you guys are all spawning in the same spot, God forbid you all go through middle, right? And then they just get another 4-piece. So make sure that you're taking a different route from these guys so that you keep the enemies guessing. This guy's already... I think he went mid. So this guy... There you go. See, you're kind of picking it up. Like I said, you've got a good head on your shoulders. You're smart. These guys, 2 of them go pool, and then you go mid with your teammate. He pops a crazy 2-piece. This guy dies, but now you have the info on him. Teammate should get him. There you go. Oh, he didn't get him. Oh, now he did. Good play. Now, the enemies may have spawned ammo, and you may have blocked it. So you could, depending on the timing here, they either flipped to P4 or they flipped right behind you, and you're not reading this. There they are. They're right behind you. See, like I said, that's that spawn knowledge. So one thing that you should be conscientious of is right here. That's 1 dead, right? And then you know that he's spawning, boom, probably ammo. And sure enough, he was probably ammo. And then he ran up and died. Now that's 3 dead. We were missing 1. Oh, there he was. And now they're spawning art. Unless you didn't block this. Okay, you didn't block this, so they're actually spawning ammo. Maybe they got some splits. Yeah, they probably spawned ammo and then took some routes. This guy probably spawned ammo. And then you spawn way out. So, another thing, keep in mind of where you are spawning. One thing that I've noticed that I'm starting to do in Crimson, and even when I was High Diamond, you don't really need to look at the minimap. Just pay attention to where you're spawning. You see what I'm saying? So, right here for P2, you know that the main spawns for P2, right? The main spawns for P2 are right here and right here. You spawned in Narnia. You spawned all the way out here. So what does that tell you? That probably tells you that your teammates, I'm sorry, your enemies are probably, I bet you there's 1 cat. Remember that guy when you tried to go up to cat and then he killed you on the stairs? I bet you he's on that same spot because he's close enough to where he's blocking this, he's blocking this spawn, right? Which is where you usually are. And since he's too close to that, you spawn here. So now you know, I bet you there's 1 cat. So immediately right here, look for this guy. Okay, there's no 1 cat, but he was palms, so I bet you he was right here, which blocked that palms spawn, and then he just pushed up. So I bet you that was him. Good play. Now your teammates have cat. That's 2 dead. They're probably still spawning in the back. You guys need to flood this. You guys have to play for a flip. Yep, they still spawn in the back. Okay, cool. All 4 dead. You guys flipped. You have spawns. You have the hill. They're spawning out there. Your teammate's already looking at it. I love this. I love it. Great play. Okay, that's an unfortunate team kill. I don't know what this guy was doing. He jumped in front of your teammate and then turned around.
How the fuck would you jump right in front of me then?
I like this spot. Now you got 1 who flanked. Great off angle here. And pays off beautifully. Now right here, you know that they're probably already setting up for P3. I would get lost. Don't worry about this guy. I would have been gone. I probably would have ran mid. Or what I would have done is I would have turned around and run like down pool and then through bottom vault and then tried to get art for P3. Don't worry about this guy. So make sure that we're rotating early. Again, I don't know if you're in a squad or not. Either tell your teammates that, you know, hey, it's 15 seconds, let's all rotate. Or maybe, I know that you can, like, ping the next thing on the map. And then on the kill feed, it'll say that you're pinging, go to new. That's what I like to do. So make sure that you guys are rotating with a good 15 seconds left. I think that's the sweet spot. You guys are probably getting some splits. Either that or they're all spawning art. Yeah. Good trade by your teammate. So right here, go art. You have an AR, and then your teammate clearly is right behind you. But before he started shooting, I noticed that it didn't say, like, that he was up. You know, that arrow that shows you that he's higher than you. Go art here. Okay, actually, you're the one on time. Never mind. Yep, and there's art. Now, whether or not you would have beaten that guy to art, I don't know. But it would have been a good play, nonetheless. And now these guys might win P4. It looks like your guy, I don't know. It looks like they're arguing in the text chat, so maybe they've already kind of given up. But at this point, it's somewhat close enough to where if they win a hill, they're back in the game. So, you know, even though you're up almost and up by a good amount and almost at 250, I would still try and go art. You know, you have to make sure that you guys are playing for rotations and playing for spawns, which is why that art play would have been so big. Because it's big for P3, and then it's big for P4 coming up. And then they're still bitching at each other. Good play. Oh, good shots on that guy, Art. See, but you got him to run away because now he's almost dead. Good job rotating early. And then you got one behind you can see on the map. And then we got to kill that guy, Art. So Art isn't blocking these spawns. So if you run out and then you push these spawns, even if your teammates die, they're still probably going to spawn on you. So immediately, I like this play to go to hill, but immediately play for spawns. Right? Good read on this guy. He didn't, when you saw him in the street, he didn't see you and then just pushed in through side door like a bot. And I liked how you just sat there and waited for him to come through. Even pre-fired a bit. I love that play. Art is giving your teammates the business, so that's why it would have been, that's why we got to go play for this guy. See, that's that spawn knowledge, baby. So he's right there. He's Art, but he's far enough to where he's not blocking these spawns in the back, which was why, boom, your teammate still spawns in the back, because that's still close enough to where he's not going to block it. So, now luckily you were in the hill, and that allowed you to get, you know, that guy, but that's why I said before you get in the hill to push out in the back here, so that way even if one of your teammates dies trying to push the guy in Art, or maybe they just lose the rotation, then they're probably going to spawn on you and you guys are going to have numbers for new. I like this play. Your teammate's got the side, other teammate has the back, so yeah, so that teammate dies mid, and then the teammate in the back dies, so it's a 2v2, although they both died kind of far. That's the kid in Art, and then that guy's in mid. So you know that you have numbers for now. So right off the bat, don't tweak. I like that play, just playing slow, and then, yeah. Teammates kind of left you on an island. All good. And now we got everybody trolling. See? Good play by that guy. Again, playing that cutoff angle. He knows that you're spawning far back into mid or even poolside, so he plays that cat route, watching for a push. Don't be afraid to play like that. Yep, and then that's a great play. You should tell your teammates, you know, ping the hill, do something. Maybe you have a mic, maybe you don't. But these guys pushing old, at 4 seconds left, even if they miraculously kill everybody, they're probably not gonna get that. Yeah, see, now you guys already don't win off new. So now you might lose the P1 rotation, so try and get your teammates to get back on you. That's 3 dead. Now hop on the hill. And that's game. Alright. So, sorry for the yap session. I don't know if that went on for too long. I was just trying to add in as much detail as possible. Right off the bat, So you had plenty of time, but you definitely had a couple deaths here where I feel like they could have been prevented, or definitely like some of these close plays where you could have made a different play and then it would have been the difference between you winning the gunfight and you losing the gunfight. I would have liked to see you rotate earlier, right? Oh, well, I mean, damn. It's two plats and two crims. Not much you can do about that, but you guys still won. On a brief inventory, just play slower, just a little bit slower, rotate earlier. If you're solo queue, I mean, you can still communicate with your teammates if you're partied up, even with one other person. Make sure that you're communicating. Say, hey, fuck the old hill. Make sure that we're rotating. Don't be afraid to tell your teammates that. That's what I do. And then last thing is try and play like these cutoff angles. You see, you died to cutoff angles a lot, right? So you know it works, and that's what I'm trying to get you to do as well. Just work on looking at the kill feed, and then work on kind of reading spawns, which is what comes from playing slower. That's why I say to play slower, so you can be more aware of that stuff. And then don't be afraid to play a cutoff angle, because nobody's expecting a gunfight when they're running, right? When they got their knife out and they're trying to get behind someone, no one's expecting a gunfight. So don't be afraid to play those cutoff angles. Other than that, I thought it was pretty good. It looks like you're getting, some unlucky timing. It happens. But I think playing slower and then playing those cutoff angles is going to help the KD a little bit. And then if you already have that time, let's say you go 27 and 27 with over 2 minutes on time, you're going to hit Crimson in no time. And then that's a big fucking gap right there. You 100-point club, or kept these guys by 100 points. That's not bad. This kid in Crimson, right? He's bottom of the scoreboard. You got your teammates, your teammates were shooting each other a little bit, but you got these guys bitching at each other, and then this guy's getting out-fragged by a plat. So, right off the bat, you already know that you won. So don't be afraid to capitalize on those small mistakes, but other than that, it was really good. I thought it was good gameplay, and like I said numerous times, right, you heard me say it, you got a good head on your shoulders, so good game.